Hello everyone and welcome to this presentation on what's new in Esprit TNG Step 2.1. Today I'm going to talk about the bar feed cycle. So we've made some improvement on the bar feed cycle both on the UI side and on the technical side. Okay, so let's switch to Esprit to see how it works. So here in Esprit I have like a simple part with just a facing and a roughing here. And I want to machine this part on my machine, but as you can see here, my stock is still too much inside the spindle, so I cannot do that. So I will need to do a bar feed to pull my stock outside of the spindle. So in order to do that, I will click on the first operation, select the first operation, and right click and choose Insert Location. So that means now everything I program will appear at this location. So when it's done, I can add a bar feed cycle. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so we are inside the bar feed technology page now, and we can see that here first we have an option which is called bar feed type. This option will help you select what type of bar feed you want to do. So you have three possibilities. You have a bar pull, you have bar feeder without stopper, or bar feeder with stopper. Okay, obviously bar feeder without stopper or bar feeder with stopper will not be available if you don't have a bar feeder on your machine. So you will not even be able to see them in the drop-down menu. Okay, so let's talk first about the bar feeder without stopper, which is the easiest option you can have. Okay, so here I want to bar feed my part outside of the spindle, and so I'm just going to set a feed length. In this scenario, I want to feed 100 millimeters outside the spindle, and I'm going to validate. Okay, so we can see the bar feed appearing here, so I'm going to close my insert position and we're going to simulate. Okay, let's simulate right now. Okay, so we can see that the spindle unclamps, then we have the bar feed of 100 millimeters, then we clamp again, and then we have all the operation. Okay, so that was for the bar feed without stopper, which was the easiest one. Now let's switch to the bar feed with stopper. Here you see we have a little bit more option. I'm going to hide this right now. So here, first thing you want to set is a tool. So you can choose to stop the bar with the tool. So here I'm going to set a grooving tool. In the part view you will actually be able to see your tool, and you can actually see also the position that you set here. So that's one cool thing. Okay, so here I'm going to do the simple thing, and I'm just going to set the position so that the feed length and the position match. Here you can notice there is a slight difference. This is because my stock is 2 millimeter offset on this face here. So I have a stock that is slightly bigger of 2 millimeters. That's why I have like a small difference here. Okay, so how does the bar feed know that? Well, it's easy actually. The bar feed will automatically calculate the collision between when the feed will enter in collision with the tool, and that's when it will automatically stop. So let's see that in the simulation right now. Okay, so my tools come in position, then unclamp, then the feed, and then it stops here. Okay. Okay, then I have a retract, and this retract, actually I forgot to talk about it, but this retract is the clearance here that you can set, and then the tool goes back. So this was the easy setting. So now obviously when you do that, you don't want to enter in collision with your tool at this position because there is risk of breaking the tool. So what you will usually do is you want to change the position, let's say this position, so that you will so that the feed will actually encounter the tool on the shank here, and you have no risk of breaking the tool here. Okay, and because it's a collision-based detection, it doesn't cause any problem. Actually, you could even choose to add an angle or anything here, and the collision will be detected the same way. So let's add a 45-degree angle here, and you can see now the feed length is calculated automatically. Okay. So so now I just did an easy feed with my stopper here, but I don't reposition my bar. So usually what you want to do with a stopper is you want to feed out a little bit more, and then you want the stopper to reposition the bar at the proper location. So that's what I'm doing right now, is that I'm setting the tool here, then the bar will feed up to the point where it collides with the tool, and then the tool will move forward and bring back the bar to the correct position. So what you want to do is you want to set the tool position, and then you want to set the actual feed length that you want. And automatically you see the stopper reposition is calculated. It means that the tool will bring back the bar 100 millimeter back. Okay, so let's see that in simulation. So my tools goes into position, then we have the feed till the collision occur, then we bring back the bar to the correct location, then we clamp, and then the tool goes 10 millimeter of clearance, and then it goes back to the home position. Okay, so some user also wants to do it the other way around. So they will decide to clamp near the part, like 20 millimeter near the part, something like that, and then they still want to go to a feed of 100 millimeters. So that means that the stopper now reposition will be in positive value, and we can see that in simulation now. So usually they will bring the tool close to the part, then bring the bar out a little bit, and then they can control how much it goes out this way. Okay, and then we clamp, and then we still have the clearance, and the tool goes back. Okay, so that's about it for the bar feed. I hope you enjoyed this presentation. If you have any question, don't hesitate to ask. We will be more than happy to help you. Bye, have a nice day.